Thank you for joining me this afternoon. This will be part 2 of our new session that we're doing on Yahuah's willingness to help us. He's a very present help in time of need. In fact, you'll find that in Psalm 46 verse 1, that Yahuah is a present help in time of need. And I think you'll agree with me that everyone has needs. We all have needs. I have needs, you have needs. And knowing the fact that Yahuah is a present help in time of need reveals to us of his willingness to be a help to us, to make provision for us, and especially for those that are his children, those that have called upon him, those that have received his forgiveness, those that have received the Messiah, those that have believed on him whom he has sent for our salvation and our deliverance. There's certain promises in his word, but if you don't know what those promises are, then you'll never be able to be a beneficiary of those promises. You know, it's like this. If I put $1,000 into your checking account, and I never told you that I did that, or you were never aware of that, and you never say checked your account balance or whatever, you know, that money could stay in your account, and you never make use of it until you find out that money is in your account. And that's the way it is for the word of Yahuah. There's so many promises that Yahuah has made to us as his children, as believers. And the sad fact is most of his children don't even know what his promises are, don't know what provisions that he has made. And because of that, they're not reaping the benefits of that. See, most people have this misunderstanding that everything that happens to them in their life, that our Creator is just directing these things along the way, and that, you know, like that old song, Que sera, sera, whatever will be, will be. But see, that's a lie from the pit of hell for you and I to be deceived, to think that everything that happens in your life is from the Creator. You know, the Messiah, the Mashiach, said in John chapter 10, verse 10, that the thief comes not but for to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But he said, but I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. You know, I've always said in my life, that right there really makes it plain to me as far as the things that come in my life to kill from me, to steal from me, or to destroy from me, that those are from the enemy. They are not from my Father. And everything that's good, and even the book of James, or Yahuah says, James chapter 1, verse 17, I believe, says, every good gift and every perfect gift is from above. So if it's a good gift, you know, sickness and disease is not a good gift. You know, losing your job and being in poverty and lack and want is not good. You know, the blessing of Yahuah, you know, it makes one rich, the book of Proverbs says. Now, I'm not saying that we all should be financially rich, but what I'm saying is that Yahuah has made provision for us in his word to take care of everything that we have need of, even in this present evil world that we live in. In fact, Galatians chapter 1 says that the Messiah has delivered us from this present evil world. Now, I know that, you know, while we're in the world, we'll suffer tribulation, you know, trials or tests or whatever. But you know, Yahushua, the Messiah, didn't stop there. He said, in the world you'll have tribulation, but then he said, but be of good cheer. Why? Because he has overcome the world. He overcame the world not for himself, but for ourselves, but for us. And so he overcame these things for us. And that's why, you know, while we're here on this earth, we're going to suffer persecution. We're going to suffer trials and tribulations that come against us. But don't be deceived thinking that everything that happens in your life is from the Creator to teach you something. A lot of people have this idea that, you know, all the bad things that happens to them is that our Creator is using these things to teach them something. But see, that sounds good and religious, but that's not what does the Word say? The Scripture says in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 16, I believe, it says, all Scripture is given by inspiration of Yahuah, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. See, Yahuah uses his word to teach you and I, to instruct us. He doesn't bring bad things into our lives to teach us something. Now, you may learn something if something bad happens in your life, but see, don't attribute that, though, to the Creator. Because Yahushua himself said that the thief comes to kill, to steal, and destroy. I am come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And see, when you know that, when you get this settled in your mind, and you can recognize things that come into your life which are from the enemy, and things that come into your life that are from Yahuah, every good and every perfect gift is from above. So, you know, when things you receive a blessing from something or someone, you recognize that is a blessing from my Father. And so, knowing this will help you resist the enemy. See, let me give you another example about this. Sickness and disease is not from our Creator, from our Father. He doesn't send sickness and disease to teach you anything. He uses His Word. In fact, the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, He died on the cross according to Isaiah 53 or Yeshayahu 53, that He had bore our sicknesses and carried our diseases according to Isaiah 53 verses 4 and 5. Why would He send sickness and disease upon us when the Messiah took the sickness and disease that would come against you and I, and bore that upon Himself? See, the provision's been made, but see, you and I have to know that first before we can receive the benefit of that. Just like the analogy I used a few minutes ago, you know, if I put $1,000 in your checking account, it won't do you one bit of good until you actually know that. But even after you know it, you've got to act upon it. You've got to act upon what you know. And so when you find out in His Word what provisions He's made for you and I, then you act upon that. One way you do that is you begin to declare the promises of Yahuah. You know, in Psalm chapter 91, King David said, he said, I will say of Yahuah, He is my refuge, He is my fortress, my Elohim, in Him do I trust. See, you have to give voice to the promises of Yahuah. That's one way you and I release our faith and trust in His Word. And guess what? The Word says that He watches, our Creator, Yahuah, watches over His Word to perform it. So when you and I begin to act upon His Word, then He watches over that Word to carry it out in our lives because we're exhibiting faith and trust in His Word. May these words comfort you this afternoon. And we'll pick this up on our next session on part 3. Thank you. Shalom.